there, I'm Karen Campbell and I'm the founder of Awesome Art School. In this video, I want to teach you everything that you need to know in case you're interested in joining one of my art clubs. So what the heck is an art club and why don't I just sell courses? Well, I used to sell courses and I used to just publish books and sell courses. But after a few years, I discovered something about myself, which is that my love language is videos, friends. And I can't stop making videos. And I can't stop teaching people how to make art projects. So honestly, my clubs evolved out of pure laziness. I didn't want to have to make a lesson and then have to go sell it every single time. It was exhausting, or find viewers on YouTube. So what I decided to do was instead found a club where people that were interested in learning how to draw or learning how to paint could come and join the club, and I would just feed them new awesome content all the time. And then they could just sit there and be pretty and have an amazing time. And I could just stop worrying about all the business and the marketing and just give my people what they want. And it was like a cure-all, fix-all for everything. So when people ask me, why don't you sell your individual classes as one-offs? And the real answer is because it's too much work. And I have these lovely individuals who are sitting there just waiting to receive my new lesson. So I just get to give it to them. Done. It's awesome. It's awesome for me and it's awesome for my club members. Plus, wouldn't you like to have 300 odd lessons for $30 odd and not just one? So you want in? Come and join. If you don't, have a great day. So what are these clubs and what is inside of them? Well, I started out with two, and I will talk about all three of them in this video. I started with the Fun Fab Drawing Club and then the Mixed Media Society. So drawing and painting are two completely different skills. And what my brain is doing when I'm drawing is totally different than what my brain is doing when I'm painting. So I have always internally had a distinction between the two. And I found not a lot of people question that. I feel like people are kind of on board and they too feel that drawing is one set of skills and painting is another. So I've always separated them. I also have two YouTube channels, one for drawing, one for mixed media, for the same reasons, okay? So that's kind of how I divide my brain, and so that's how I started those clubs. So in the Fun Fab Drawing Club, I actually started it with an introductory to drawing course that I sliced up into stages so that if you've never drawn before, and most of my members are really new to drawing, I don't get super wizards joining my membership, which is great. And also my members are kind of starting where I was starting too. So fast forward back to 2018, 2017, I'm a much better artist now than I was then. So I was much better at teaching introductory and beginner courses then. And those have stayed tried and true as my introductory lessons to get you up to speed to drawing whatever you see and whatever you want as you work through those introductory courses. So if you're brand new, you simply start at stage 0 with supplies, and then you work your way through stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you can go anywhere you want to in the club. And I will share my screen in just a few minutes once I've stopped talking, and I will show you how you can see anyone, whether you're a club member or not. You can actually go and see all of the lessons that are taught in the drawing club, but also in the other two clubs as well. So if you're brand new to drawing, you can start from scratch, and I will hold your hand through these introductory classrooms until you're getting up to speed, and you can binge whatever you want. I also have live lessons once a month as well. So you get give or take 2 new drawings. I release them about every other week. And then we have a live session as well. And people get a lot of enjoyment creating together. It's really awesome for community. People get to know each other. You can ask me questions. So there's a combination of pre-recorded material and new. Everything that I've ever done drawing-wise lives in the club. When you join, you get instant access to everything dating back to 2016 up until today. You get everything. Most memberships don't allow downloads, and they have some sort of like a paywall or an archive or vault that you have to either stay in a member of for 6 months, and then you get access. And there's sort of different graduated paywalls, like I said, but no one ever just gives you everything. I'm giving you everything. Everything the first day that you sign up. So And you can download all the videos, PDFs, resources, everything. So that's the drawing club. It's also really nice for intermediate artists who have a little bit of background and just need a little bit of help to get them to the next level. And I also do way more than faces. I know that I'm very well known for teaching faces, but we also have everything from urban sketching, 1-point and 2-point perspective. My background's actually in architectural drafting, so I have actual skills teaching that. We do silly animals, everything from silly animals. We do flowers. I love interiors. We do drawing the decades, where we draw famous people like cartoon style. Like, we do a huge random slew of awesome, super fun things. And again, when I share my screen, I'll walk you through all the different classrooms. It's so much. It's bananas. Okay, so that's the drawing club. Oh, you also get a free, all of the clubs offer, I give you free books when you sign up as well. So it could be a mix of paperbacks and ebooks depending on the level of your membership. But everyone, even monthly members, get minimum of 5 free ebooks when you join. So there's a whole bunch more. I am an author after all. I like to give you my books. So there's a whole lot in addition to just videos. Okay, switching gears to the Mixed Media Society. So the Mixed Media Society actually formed out of introductory courses. It was a bundle of introductory courses. So it was introduction to art journaling, to mixed media, to encaustics, watercolors, mark makers, and acrylics. And I just bundled them together when we first started the Mixed Media Society. I have since added on full courses in gouache, fountain pen inks. I didn't write this down, so I have to now remember. Another wet mediums. Oh, we have a skin tones classroom. I was exploring pastels. So we have an emphasis on individual art supplies, but we also have a huge array of lessons teaching you how to layer your art supplies in the correct order. Because if you don't, you make a mess, friends. Like, it's not good. Things go bad. So there's a huge array of courses, and then again there's lessons where you learn how to jumble them all up. And to make it fun, I don't just like do demos. Everything you learn, every lesson is a project. So you're going to create something amazing, whether you're learning about a single art supply or whether you're doing a mixed media projects. Either I teach everything through all clubs through cool projects. So you're going to make something regardless. Wherever, if you're a baby beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you're going to learn a lot and you're going to make something that day. Super fun. And again, I will share my screen and show you all of those. Same thing, we have a happy hour every month where we're going to do something live together, and then you also have pre-recorded lessons, and you also have free books. All of the clubs also have the best giveaway prizes. You get to choose anything from my Etsy shop, from hoodies to tote packs to pencil pouches, you name it. And all of my books, or you can pick an Amazon gift card. Like, I love my members, friends, and I show it. All the members also get 20% off permanent discount on my Etsy shop as well. So much fun. Okay, that's the Mixed Media Society. I will show you those projects in a moment as well. The third club is the Celtic Collective. So I have a best friend in the whole world, and her name is Lucy Bryden. She lives overseas in my favorite place in the whole world, which is Scotland. I'm obsessed. I am moving there. That is my goal. Because we have such shared interests, we have art. We love all things fae and magical. We love to talk about ghosts and castles, and we love this whole fantasy genre. We decided to join forces back in 2020. We launched in 2021 to have a club dedicated to all things fantasy. We cannot get enough. So we decided to lean in and go all the way with it. So in our art club called the Celtic Collective, that is all that we do. Now, Lucy is an amazing artist and our styles are super different. So she excels at watercolors and gouache. And lately I've gotten her super obsessed into markers, because that's my favorite. Okay, and her style is very different than mine. And I love to teach drawing with graphite. I excel in markers, and I love watercolors. So that's all you're gonna learn in the Celtic Collective. So we narrow our forces to those mediums, and then we go all in. That being said, we do have beginners in the Celtic Collective as well. So we do have an entire classroom also dedicated to you for, we call it our maidens classroom, so that you have a place to go where you can learn the basics before you get to go binge what's the rest is in the club. We also have a live monthly event just like we do in the other two clubs, and you also have an assortment of free books when you join. As far as pricing, and then I will share my screen and I will show you inside all the clubs and how you get around. All the clubs are priced the same exact price. I'm not going to say in this video what it is because our prices change. I am adding between 40 and 100 new lessons, books, resources, videos in each club every single year. So my prices do continue to rise as time goes on. So if you go to awesomeartschool.com, you can see the current pricing for all 3 clubs. And that is the lowest price that you will see them at ever today. Whatever that says today, that's the lowest price. That being said, I haven't raised them too much over the years. I try to do it when it's justified, and I don't go crazy with this stuff. I'm a lot cheaper than a lot of my other membership peers who usually start at $37. I'm still below that, so I'm very proud of that price. Especially everything is downloadable and you get access to everything as well. So I'm gonna share my screen if you wanna go behind the scenes inside, log in like a current user so I can show you how to get around. But first, I just wanna really make sure that you understand how you can go to all the visual indexes, because even if you're not a member, you can go and see everything that we're doing inside all the clubs. So follow me. Okay, as promised, I'm going to take you to where you can see all the projects in all 3 of the clubs. So it's super easy, and this is how our actual members cruise around. You go to awesomeartschool.com, that's your home base, and just make sure if you're a member that you're logged in, because obviously it's a paid membership, so only people logged in can have access to the paid content. So that's first and foremost, and then after that, it's super easy. So at the top of in this black band right here, you'll see Drawing Club, Mixed Media Club, and Celtic Club, and Wonder Bundle. I forgot to talk about the Wonder Bundle. Actually, half of all of our members are in the Wonder Bundle, and that is members that are in all 3 clubs. Not to worry, because when you buy 2, you actually get the 3rd club completely free, which is, in case you didn't know, totally bananas. So that's why there's so many people in it. So but we still, in terms of organizational purposes, separate them each out, because there still are the other half who are only in the one, and we don't want to confuse anyone. So we'll start with the Drawing Club, because that's what I talked about first here on that video. And all I did was start at awesomeartschool.com and click Drawing Club at the top, and it immediately takes you over to the visual index. And all you have to do to see what we teach is to scroll down. If you want to sign up, you can do that right here. If you're brand new to the club and you're like, wait, what did she say to begin? How do I start? You just watch this video. That's for you. There are the 5 free books that you get with your membership. Lifetime members and annual members also get our lesson tracker, which is an actual paperback book as well, and this workbook, which is also a real actual book. And some people don't believe me that they get real books, so I'm just going to show you what they look like real quick. This is the workbook and guide for the Drawing Club. It's 260 pages, so it's nothing to scoff at. And yeah, we send that, and we send this lesson tracker so you can stay on track with all of your lessons, videos, where you left off, where you're going next, what you're in the mood for, how do you feel before and after. So that's another thing that's not even on the website for you. I know, it's a lot. I'm a giver. What can I say? Okay, so you just hit those download buttons to get to those. Move my ugly mug somewhere else. These is a list. These are quick links for my members who know exactly where they're going. They can just click and go. So these are all different aspects of the club calendar. And then this is stage 0 through 7. If you're brand new to drawing, you just start at 0 and you work your way all the way up. It's as simple as that. So it's easy to get to where you want to go. And then these are the additional bonus classrooms that you all get for free when you sign up. and they're bursting with lessons. Okay, so figures, hands, whimsical women. In the mermaid, we learn the basics of 1 point perspective, aerial perspective, my quadrant method for drawing anything that you can see. And then again, these are all the additional free classrooms. The dudes, tone paper, fantasy, if you want to just a touch of fantasy, but you don't want to go all in the Celtic Collective. Fun Fab Facades is where we learn the perspective and urban sketching. Adam's Family, my friend, I don't mess around. We have a lot of fun here. This is not like your boring art school. This is like ridiculously awesome. Munsters, steampunk, obsessed. Expressions are a huge thing that people struggle with. The Drawing the Decades classroom is enormous. It goes from the 1920s all the way up through the 60s. So many famous people in there. Super, super fun. And then this is really important too, is if you're new, like, there's so many lessons, Karen, like how the heck do I know which ones to work with? You can actually just keep your eyes peeled for these. So the pink is easy. Those are easy lessons, roughly. And then the blue is intermediate. And then the purple is hard. So that will help you quickly pick things that are in your comfort zone. So here's that stage 0 supplies classroom. So it's just orienting you to the supplies that I recommend, and really the ones that you're going to need the most. There's not much in the drawing club. It's like pretty basic, right? We do magic things with the pencil, but I do use like a black wing a lot. So I have like a deep dive on like why the heck the black wing. It's weird. Blending stumps, but it's very step by step. So there's a different section for each individual supply. So there's no doubt about what it is, links to write what you need, and then you're up and running. You're good to go. So yeah, those are my favorites. I use the same tools over and over and over again. So the beauty of the drawing club is you do not need a million supplies at all. It's pretty magical. And then you just scroll down this whole website. So go to awesomeartschool.com, click drawing club at the back. You don't need to be logged in to see any of the visual indexes, and you can go check it out. So this is my beginner classrooms. We're starting with Zentangle. But the real thing we're studying them there is line weights, because line weights is the precursor to value. But rather than boring you with all that, we just dive in and we start drawing really fun Zentangling. And then you'll understand very quickly when we do go to shading and basic objects, why that line weight actually becomes important and how it does translate to more advanced things, but very slowly. So you have this beautiful, slow progression. Okay, so then we jump into faces pretty quick. This Flower Power, Whimsy versus Realism, is a very popular lesson. We're going to go through the same lesson twice, once whimsical, one realistic, and then you can decide like what feels right for you, because that usually translates into the lessons that you're going to be doing in your own style later on. So that's a really fun lesson to kind of get you to know yourself and where yourself stands and all that. Isn't that so fun? All right, the fairy, we're getting a little bit more advanced. We're talking about 3/4 portraits and profiles, expressions and profiles, and we're still working with pretty whimsical stuff here. But whimsy is the precursor to realism, so baby steps, my friend. If you're new, it's the perfect place to start. And the siren, we're going to just focus on realism and then even the individual features. I lost that word for a second. Okay, and then we're going to do just a handful, small few of realistic drawings to get your feet wet. And then we're just doing 2 quote unquote hard realistic drawings at the end. And then if you want to learn the quadrant method, that makes drawing figures and things like super hard perfectly. That's a great intro for you. Perspective, aerial, and 1 point. And then if you love that and you want more, you can go to the Fun Fab Facades classroom to keep going. Okay, and then again, just keep scrolling down. These are all the bonus classrooms. So we have realistic portraits, and every classroom we add on over time. So they might look incomplete. It's because we just keep adding things. Whimsical Women of the World was a really, really fun series. Actually became a book as well. I also featured the work of over 80 students in there. That was really fun. There's a whimsical, kind of random. There's some seasonal things in here. We did a deep dive on Anne Keenan Higgins with her permission, of course. And that was a really fun way to spend our holiday season one year. We have all of these hands. If you want to really understand shading and learning to draw what you see, the hands classroom will get you there, 100%. It changed my life and how I perceive things, and it has done the same for our members. So yeah, there's so much in here. I know they're hands, but it transforms the way you perceive the world. It's really fascinating. Is a whole classroom dedicated to figures, and this is using my quadrant method. We also learn ways to make something our own after we learn how to copy it exactly. So there's a lot of emphasis on style in there as well. Here's a really fun Fab Fantasy classroom. I better hurry it up because we got a lot of clubs to go through. We have the Fun Fab Faces Challenge. This is nice. This is different than the YouTube because you actually get all of the time-lapsed versions in real time here. And you also get a scorecard, which is really nice. And the references, none of that you get on YouTube. Fun Fab Furry Friends, super cute. Little cartoon cats, dogs. And then there's also a super realistic horse and a really realistic baby orangutan. So we like to balance the fun and the whimsy with a little something hardcore as well. Florals, there's got to be more florals coming because I need more of those in my life. Here's that Fun Fab Facades classroom I was talking about, which is all different types of perspectives, outside and inside, 1 point and 2 point, making the jaws of awesomeness. When you study with me, guys, it's not boring. It's super fun. It's all fun. And you can do some pretty awesome things. Every October, I like to do 5 Sundays in a row of something fun and October related. So we did Addams Family one year using only a fountain pen, a $2 fountain pen and water. And we made some insane masterpieces. I did it again with the Munsters. It's a little bonus classroom. Here's the Drawing the Decades classroom, which is one of my all-time favorites. I'm trying to stick my head somewhere. Oh, that's much better. I'm so sorry I didn't do that before. Oh, look at that. Elvis is in there. We have these super classic 1940s animals and people. We have a couple different Marilyns. We have our Audrey Hepburn fashion figure, and then the full Parisian cafe. We have some sketchings, Elizabeth Taylor inspired. We did the Jetsons, as you do. We also did some of the Beatles. We did a deep dive on 1960s eye makeup and Audrey Hepburn, and we did a really fun little road trip series. We did some 1960s fashionistas and dogs and cocktails. So like I said, and a bar. We do a little bit of all of it. It's super, super fun. This was a whole classroom on expressions. So, and figures that go with those expressions. And we're going to do some more of those as well. And those are those monsters that I was showing you. And then we dove into steampunk. Steampunk is my freaking favorite. And we're not even done. So, and there's more. These are the live lessons that we've done. We used to do Zooms and there was nothing to show. And we decided that was a little boring. So let's get some more lessons going. So that's what we've been doing ever since. And that will continue to grow as well. A new one every month. Okay, so holy moly, right? That's just the drawing club, friends. We haven't even talked about mixed media. So in the mixed media club, you're going to go back to Awesome Art School. You can do this yourself. Click on Mixed Media Club at the top. And now you're at the visual index for the Mixed Media Society. Again, if you're not sure where to go, I've made you a video that will remind you. And then here are all your books as well. You actually get 6 books. And if you're quarterly, this is all with all the clubs. If you're quarterly, then you get, where is my big club book? You get the club book, which in this case is a 310-page workbook. Yeah, it's no joke. All your supply information is here, all your relevant cheat sheets, organizational, navigational cheat sheets. So it helps keep you on track, reminds you how to log in. And then of course that lesson tracker is here for you as well. And the annual members and lifers get those in paperback form. There's my Skin Tone Secrets book. You get my cheat sheet books. You get my Mixed Media Hamburger book as well. So yeah, lots. Just like the drawing club, these are quick links for people who know exactly where they're going. And you also have your stage 0. This one's through stage 8. So one thing I didn't mention before is that if you're new to mixed media supplies or the way that I do mixed media, these are individual classrooms where we only talk about this one supply. That is it. So you master the one supply. That could be acrylics. It could be the sealer. I always use a sealer layer in my mixed media. So we're going to master it. We're doing a whole project just using gelato. So you totally understand how they work. That way, when you go to do your mixed media projects, you already know how to use all your supplies. I know. And I know it seems like a lot of classrooms, but actually these specific supplies are going to be used in hundreds of projects. So it actually saves you so much money because you can ditch probably 80% of your stash and make amazing projects. Okay. So it's awesome. And then here are the individual art supply classrooms that I was talking about. We have magic mark makers. So there's so many, like water soluble and permanent crayons and color pencils and markers. And that classroom is dedicated to breaking those down so you understand each one. Acrylics, watercolors, encaustics, art journaling. I wasn't messing around, was I? Fountain pen inks, Gaga for gouache, mastering the Stabilo, because I love me a Stabilo wall pencil. Okay, so those are all the individual art supplies. If you're like, I really want to get a handle on gouache, then you can go and dedicate some time to that one classroom before diving into some of the other ones. Or you could be vice versa, where you're like, screw the individual art supplies. I want to dump all the things together. Well, I'm going to help you regardless. So these are the mixed media magic, hamburger, hot dog, fantasy, whimsical animals, art decos, fabulous flowers, pretty painted portraits, seasonal holiday, which there are tons of holiday ones in this club, a whole classroom dedicated to making gorgeous skin tones and different art supplies, and then artist interviews. So these are a whole mix of a huge variety of different projects. And just like in the drawing club, you can look for the icons. I know I said that so crazy. You can look for the icons to help you know which projects would be good suited for you. So easy, intermediate, and hard. So you know at a glance where to go. And then again, we're just going to scroll all the way down and you can see all of these for yourself. So stage 0 is always supplies. Like what do we need here? But again, here's your supply checklist. This hamburger supply list is all you need. Okay, you have everything about brushes and supplies. That's it. So we're starting at the super basics. And then again, in these stage 1 through 8, we're just going to talk about the one supply, what it does, how it works with everything else. So stage 1 is just like surfaces. Like what the heck can you art on? Let's talk about it. Okay. Stage 2, the slicer, collage. Now, someone the other day was like, I hate collage. You never have to do collage. You can skip that. You can skip anything. Just to be clear, if you're like, I hate collage, by the way, I freaking used to hate collage and now I'm obsessed with it. And it wasn't until I understood what it did for the end result that it was like part of the process. But I digress. If you don't like collage, then skip the collage. It's of course, it's your art club. It's your life. You do whatever you want, but it shouldn't be anything like keeping anyone from doing anything. The painter is all about acrylics. Okay, we're going to learn how to wet on wet blend and how to do wet on dry blending because it's a very different experience using the same exact supplies. Let's learn how to do it. Stage 4, the mark maker. Okay, we're talking about pencils, crayons, markers. Oh my, what the differences are. We're doing a whole project with just a Stabilo all pencil so that when I use it, you're not scared anymore and you can decide if you want to use it or maybe you don't. Maybe you skip it. And that's totally fine as well. And then the blender is all about gelatos. Gelatos I use simply for shading. So if you can get over your fear of it moving when you add the sealant layer that's coming next, then you're going to do great. You have nothing to worry about. Sealers are my favorite. I love to mess around with them. I love when it blends my things together. So you're going to get a little practice doing that. Look at your little fun acorn project. It's so fun. So learn about sealers with me, will ya? The liner is about Pitt pens. Actually, Pitt pens just came out with a brand new marker, weirdly sitting right next to me. I did not plan that whatsoever. So I'm going to be adding that to this classroom very soon. So stay tuned. And then a whole section on finishes. So and we have individual layer questions. You can go right to a classroom and just dedicate it to just all that. And then when you've done those, guys, freaking the world's your oyster. Go anywhere. That being said, those 0 through 8 came after all of these individual classrooms. So these are also just standalone, amazing, super fun projects. And these are geared towards beginners. Okay, so if you're a beginner, you can go binge some of these. And then you have acrylics classroom. Okay, So you can just simply go and pick one that looks good to you. Watercolors. I'm going to update this one because I've gotten much better at watercolors over the years. And that's what I love about these clubs too, is they continue to grow and evolve. So they're not static, which is also why I don't sell one-off lessons, because I'm like, that one could be a precursor to the next one. And that way you get it. You just get it all. Don't you want it all? I just want it all. I'm giving it all to you. Here's encaustics. Very few people do this, but it's amazing. It is the coolest medium out there. Mixed media and art journaling. So art journaling is super popular. I was obsessed for years. So you have a lot of fun ones in here. I also love to upcycle. I did a lot of work on records and vinyl record jackets. So that's what some of these are. I also made one out of cereal boxes. So I have some of those. I love fountain pen inks are super fun to work with as well. So it's a really super rich, vibrant medium that I love so much. So look at that apple. I'm just like, so yummy. Nothing else makes that effect other than fountain pen inks. Gouache, my friend Lucy that I was talking about got me into gouache because she uses it a lot, and I was really brand new to it. So when I am learning, I will bring all my new things to you. I'm not an expert on every art supply, so as I learn it, I will put all that information in the clip for you. So again, so much easier, isn't it? I just give it to you. It's all there. These are really fun projects. I really enjoyed them. And then we go from easy to medium to hard pretty quick. It's pretty quick. Stipilo, I love this medium so much. It's a single super water soluble pencil that I am obsessed with. So we're going to mess around with that as well. Mixed Media Magic goes with my Mixed Media Magic book that I published back in 2017, I think. So all the video lessons of that are in there. The hamburger, this is a huge classroom. I think there's 40 in here right now, maybe more. They're all done with the same art supplies that we use, no coincidence, in stages 0 through 8. Okay, so now we're putting them all together in these different, I love the cat lady. She's right behind me. I love her so much. Okay, so now you can, actually a lot of these are right behind me. You can put them all together and make the coolest projects. Now hot dogs, the hamburger is 8 layers, 7 layers, and hot dogs are any project 4 or fewer. So there could actually be like a million more in here, which there will be over time because I just give them to you when I'm done. We have our fantasy classroom. We have a lovely dragon, a mermaid, an elven snake charmer, honestly. I mean, right? Obviously. A unicorn, so some fun things. And then there's some steampunk things in there as well. We have a huge classroom for animals. So if you're like, I just want to do something adorable today, you can head to the animals classroom and pick out something funny, heartwarming. I got you. Art Deco, I really love the whole Art Deco thing. There's going to be much more on that coming in our speakeasy classroom, which is going to be filled to the brim. Actually just did this one yesterday as I filmed this. Oh my God. And I know it looks like one. It's actually 3. It's actually a triptych, and it's 3 canvases. Don't even get me started. Mixed media is freaking awesome. All right, so we have flowers as well. Lots of flowers. I did a whole tulip portrait series, which I now have hanging in my hallway in my house, which brings me so much joy. So much joy. We have some pretty painted portraits in here for you. And Bryn is a popular guest teacher that comes in and teaches from time to time. We have lots of holidays. So I've just basically recategorized them and then adding them on. So we have Christmas and Hanukkah. And then this is our skin tones classroom, which is really great because we have skin tone, whole lessons dedicated to just acrylics, just sort of unusual skin tones from Bryn. She does 2 lessons in there using Tombows and using watercolors. And then there's, again, one by Bryn. It's like, let's be funky. And then these are our happy hour projects that we've done. And of course, I do one more every single month, which I do them with you. So that's super fun. Oh my God, are you ready? I might have saved the best for last. I'm not going to deny it. Celtic Collective, again, to see all of these, you go back to awesomeartschool.com and then you hit Celtic Collective. Are you like, when is this presentation over? I'm not joking when I say you get so much, like so much. There's so much in these clubs. All right, so here, that's a funny picture of me and Lucy because we just like to have fun. Again, there's our monthly calendar. Again, if you're not sure where to go, you can watch my video. Those are your free books that you get. So you get the Celtic Collection, which is 300 royalty-free images. And you also, again, for the people that are annual and lifetime, you get our lesson tracker also. These are your quick links if you know right where you're going. Okay, so things are a little bit more, shall we say, fantasy-based in the Celtic Collective. So as you can see, we're much more creative with our names, and everything has that kind of mythical, magical bent to it. So we have the scribe notes are our PDF resources. Quill and parchment is where you can find information about our supplies. Maiden's classroom is where beginners go. We always wanted to call it virgins, and now I kind of wish we had stuck with that because it's so funny. And then these are Sealy Court. In case you're unfamiliar, in Scottish folklore, the fairies divide themselves into good and bad, and the good fairies are members of the Sealy Court. I'm not making this up. This is fact, friends. And the unsavory fairies, of which there's a lot of evil rascals, are a part of the unseelie court. Now you know, you're welcome. And so we have all our fairies go in there. We have each apothecary, so you know, crystals and potions. Many magnificent manses are where our castles go. Well, you can see the delectable little list in here. Master's Apprentice. I do have to say, this is a club favorite, and it is also a favorite of mine and Lucy's. This is where we do deep dives on specific fantasy artists, and we do deep dives. So we learn their techniques. In many cases, we've reached out and well, I'll show you when we get there. It's amazing, but it's awesome. And then we try to recreate their techniques into our own projects. Sometimes we just straight up copy because copying is the best way to learn. And then we'll do that, and then we'll do something of our own, but it's a really fun. The Celtic Collective sort of class system for lessons, if you will, is still the same colors, pink, teal, and purple, but they're Celtic knots. And this one, we've simply elected to leave all three instead of having just one. For the hard lesson, we just show three. Oh, I'll shut up. You'll see it in a second. So the bottom line is that pink is easy, just like it is for the other two clubs. Okay. And this is where, again, if you're new, if you're a beginner, you should watch about the supplies. You can start where maidens start. And then the scribe notes are just like our quick kind of PDFs that we've prepared. And you don't have to download anything either, by the way. If you're like, I don't have room for all this stuff, you also don't need to. You can just view it right on your computer. So here are our supplies. Those are Lucy's faves. Those are my faves. Scribe notes, again, just common cheat sheets, but you can leave them right there. We also always give you, and this is true for all three clubs, I always give you the individual PDF that you'll need for each lesson and the reference. So you don't even need to dive in here, to be honest. We'll always serve them up when you need them, every time you need them. So don't worry about that. So the maidens, mistress is intermediate, maidens are beginners, and goddess they're an expert, which is why they're the goddess. So you can keep your eyes peeled for, again, the same colors as the other clubs. Just keep that in mind, and hopefully that makes it super easy for you. But we also have a whole classroom dedicated to beginners. So here are some good beginner lessons that will go over the basics: mixing skin tones, watercolor basics, gouache, markers, and those are the things that we focus on. And watercolors and inks. Value scale and creating dimension, and in case you're new to drawing with graphite. And then I do love tone paper, so also have a little tone paper series there for you as well. And then we have some easier but fun projects, because again, we learn everything through projects, so we're going to make it fun. So we have a frontal fairy face, two of them. So these are both my lessons, and you can see who taught them. So I like to draw her in graphite, and then I watercolor her, and then I'm doing a different one in markers, because I freaking love a fairy face. So I'm doing them all day long. So there you go. What do I do with my lessons when I make them? I give them to you. So there they are. And then there's cloud studies, how to transfer your drawings in case you don't want to mess up and you want to move it to a new piece of paper. That is there for you too. All right. And then you have just the fun individual lessons. So again, you can go to awesomeartschool.com, click Celtic Club at the top, and then scroll your little heart out to see all the lessons. So these are all the fairies in jars. We have adorable happy couple. These were our good fairy kings and queens. We have our unseelie court. So these are kind of spooky, freaky ones. The gray lady, the red cap was very scary. We have a podcast episode on him. Yes, expressive faces of evil. And then here's our magical potions, herbs, flowers, florals, the green man, tree spirits, apothecary mistress has been a very popular. We do have some crafts in here too, which are super fun. We have a bunch of castles. I love castles. Those are all my castles. And then we also have done hobbit houses. They're manses after all, so they could be anything. Did a really fun, popular gargoyle lesson. Castle in the Clouds. Different castles. This Lickley Head is actually the castle where Lucy and I stayed one year. Gothic castle there. We have gods and goddesses, which we really need more. Although we did do Brigid, but she's in the Celtic Wheel of the Year classroom. Here's our mythical creatures. So that's unicorns, dragons, mermaids. I could stay in here all day long. Just never gets tired. Okay, and again, we're doing everything in watercolors, gouache, ink, and markers, and graphite. That's everything. So yeah, lots of mythical creatures. Ooh, oh, I forgot about our centaurs. Those were so fun. Spellcasters, great. You gotta have your witches and your wizards, of course, obviously. There's our wizards. Oh, we gotta do that again. We have our spooky cat. Yeah, it's got some animals in there too. Sexy sorceress, woodland witch. You know what I'm talking about. Plus, we can't forget our sexy Celts and kilts. I can just look at that all day. Master's Apprentice. This is the classroom I was talking about when we can, we do a deep dive on different techniques done by different artists. So we have a whole unit on Amy Brown. I went crazy. These are all mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 7 lessons for you that month. 7. I just gave them all. Yeah, we get like really carried away in this club. I'm not gonna lie. This was another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 7 for Brian Proud in 1 month. I have a problem. But Lucy is the same. We're just obsessed. So we've studied Brian Proud. We did Anne Stokes. We did Amy Brown, like I mentioned. We did a deep dive on Jean-Baptiste Monge, who's amazing. Amazing. We did a deep dive on Arthur Rackham. And so what's fun about those is that they're really varied. We also did one with Kevin Keel, who's super nice. I reached out to him because I was like, we really want to blatantly copy you. Is that cool? And he was like, absolutely. And that's another thing is that through these clubs, like I get to interact with these different artists to ask permission, and then they get to know our club. And then it just becomes this like amazing community. The Robed Wanderer, and then the Celtic Wheel of the Year. So there's 8 Celtic wheels there's 8 Celtic fire festivals that take place around the year. And so we've taken turns doing one of the 8. And we have, as I film this, we have 2 left. So you can see all of those ones. Oh, that's a huge, huge chunk of creativity right there. And then we have our live art alongs as well. So doing all sorts of fun things. Sometimes we get really silly. A lot of times we get really silly because that's what happens when me and Lucy get together. We did Angry Baby Unicorns. Just seeing everyone's, you should see how many people post and people art along. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. And really that's the last thing I want to talk about is the community. The community at the end of the day and interacting in the Facebook group and on lives is the most important part and the most rewarding part of the memberships. Seeing each other's art, connecting with other adult online learners, interacting with people from all over the world. It's really social. So you get to actually like break out of your comfort zone, maybe in the art way, but you also can maybe break out of your comfort zone and make some new friends. People have broken off into their own groups and do Zoom calls. It's so fun. There's a lot of community elements to it, and I think our members really enjoy it. And I know that's my favorite thing as well. The last thing I want to talk about, this is a million hours long, this video, is just the fact that you are becoming a member of a community. And in addition to our active club members, there also is a magical team. And so there's a number of us who are here for you, whether you realize it or not. I call them my magical team staff. We have Tara and Margot, and they are here behind the scenes that are helping answer email questions, account questions. You can't find something, there's a button not working, or you need to change out your credit card and you need help. Just all of that, the boring side of it. They are here to make it not boring, easy, and fun, and to help you out. They also have Jeanette Salib, who is an amazing artist, and she is in the classrooms every single day answering supply questions, giving feedback. She's awesome. She knows what she's talking about. I trust her with everything. Hosting when I can't, the Zooms. She's an awesome resource for you guys as well. So you're getting into bed with a beautiful bouquet of people who are all here to serve you. Truly, we're just here for you. So in addition to having fun art classes, that's part of it. It's actually so much more. We do a really fun monthly giveaways that I mentioned. It's just like it's a whole world. And we invite you to come on in. So if you want all the pricing information, and if you want to sign up, just head over to awesomeartschool.com, and we'd love to have you.